Welcome all to the Ricky Dick Bullshit Podcast, episode 13 of season 2. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania night 1 and night 2.
WrestleMania.
But take it away for us. Introduce yourself.
How's everybody doing? You know who it is. Four time in the house tonight. How's everybody doing? We're here to talk about some WrestleMania.
It's a hell of a WrestleMania too, contrary to what people are saying.
First and second night were really good, but what do you think was the better night, Johnny? To me, personally, I like the second night more. I will say the first night's main event was the ending was better than the, I don't know. What do you think, Johnny?
I would say
I like night 2, but the main event of the first night was great.
Night 2 was great. I will say that the first night's main event was the better main event, but I will say that Cena and Cody did what they were supposed to do because they were doing what Cena's been saying. He said that you get nothing. You burned nothing to deserve a new finisher from him, a new look, interference from someone respectable unlike Travis Scott, and you weren't going to get a good ending to that match. Because like he said, he dumped us. We got dumped on national TV. So he made sure that he's going to win the same way that he started his heel turn. Kick to the dick, belt shot. 1, 2, 3. I will say, I liked it. But the first night was definitely had the better main event.
Yeah. The ending was one of the most perfect. It was another great WrestleMania ending like Rollins did back in the day, back in 2015, when he won the belt, cashed in on Lesnar and Reigns. So.
Exactly.
But one of my favorite match of honestly the whole WrestleMania was the Fatal 4-Way. Braun Breaker, Penta, Dom, and Finn. It was a great match, and
right guy won.
Yeah, the right guy won, and I actually had predicted that.
So did we.
Yeah. There was I predicted a good amount of stuff. Like pretty much everything I said went down. Like I said that they would have the Fatal 4-Way, and it would be they wasn't gonna pin Braun Breaker, but they're definitely getting the belt off of him because they're gonna give him a push.
That's right.
It happened on Raw. That's what I've been. I might have texted you that before.
Yep, you did.
Yeah, and so. I predicted that one pretty much to the T. And then I figured Paul was going to turn with either Jay or Seth. And after the last Raw before Mania, I knew it was Seth.
Exactly. I mean, that's the way it should be. Because Braun Breaker's there. I look for there to be more people added to that. I'm not saying win, but I know that there's going to be more people added to that. But that Fatal 4-Way was done well. I love that Dom pinned Finn Balor. He didn't pin no one else. He pinned Finn Balor. Yeah. That sets up a new feud. You know it's coming. Finn Balor's going to turn on him.
Yeah, you can already tell that Finn's going to turn on him.
Exactly. That was a great match. What about that Jade Cargill and Naomi match?
It was really good. Let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna get a look at the matches. All right, okay, yeah, night 1.
It was a hell of a match. You saw that electric chair drop into a powerbomb that she did?
Yeah. I will say, man, the women this year at WrestleMania really tore the house down every single match. All the women's matches killed, man.
They sure did. And you know what? My favorite part of the whole women's matches was Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte making it look like it was real.
Yeah.
Because they were doing things that people thought that they were being sloppy. But the truth was that they were making it look real as possible. It looked like a cat fight Just like how a real fight would go down. Neither one was making it look good. That's the way it's supposed to look, fellas.
And dude, everybody was acting like Charlotte wasn't going to put her over, but I figured like Charlotte came back just to put her over. You know what I mean? Like that's what Charlotte is going to be in the WrestleMania for, is to put somebody else over. Like, her time is not up, but she's,
Yeah, her time. It was time to put over someone new, someone fresh. Because it's still Tiffany Stratton's first reign as champion. The right woman won that match. And I loved that they made it look real. Because it could have went bad.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Plus you had El Americano, who we keep saying is R-Truth. He's clearly R-Truth. I mean, look at his back. He had it covered up, but...
You know what, Johnny? I was looking at him, though, when I was watching WrestleMania, and I was like, he looks so familiar. But I could not put a name to it. But now that you said R-Truth, that's definitely R-Truth.
Exactly. And you look on his back, he has a truth symbol on there. At WrestleMania, he was hiding it. Yeah. He was wearing a full singlet that kept that tattoo hidden. But on Raw, he showed it off.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew.
It's
R-Truth, we're on to you. Clearly, he thinks that's John Cena, though.
I'm gonna bring up a pretty big topic, pretty big discussion right now in the wrestling community. What was your thoughts on The Rock not coming out? And what I'm gonna say before we get started is his excuse on the Pat McAfee show was lazy as fuck.
It was. I think that it didn't need The Rock, really. Because Cena's entire gimmick.
My thing was to not show up the whole night. Really?
He could have.
Or he could have just made an entrance and stood at the entrance stage and then distracted Cody for a second, or
But The Rock is lazy, for real.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. The Rock is not a good actor. He ain't got range. And he sure as hell ain't no John Cena. Or Batista. I would compare him to Hulk Hogan. Because both of those men ain't got no range. They only got one character that they can play, and that's a meathead. Except for one. That's when he played Black Adam.
Yeah.
That character was slightly different. But in that, he's played nothing but meatheads.
One of my favorite things, though, was the build-up and the promos between Cena and Cody. Dude, when Cody dropped the line about Cena in Hollywood or selling out to other people. Oh, dude, that was crazy. Oh,
exactly. That was golden.
He's going to get taken out by the Illuminati now.
Yep. Because Cena's now part of that Illuminati.
Yep.
The Rock's part of it now. But The Rock's lazy that he wanted to come out to show that he's part of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's his show, and he didn't even, like, show up at all. Like, that was just stupid to me.
It is.
And to build it, like, not to say, like, they built him up to come to WrestleMania, but, like, I mean, if he's been on shows and been in storylines, he should be at WrestleMania. He was just on the last pay-per-view. He should be on
exactly. And him going on to that Pat McAfee show and talking like that was stupid.
Yeah, it was lazy. It was a lazy excuse.
He's a lazy fuck. I'm sorry, but the guy that calls himself a megastar, it's not good. Yeah, he can cut promos, but his wrestling was never that great.
The Rock?
Yep.
I don't know. I like The Rock.
The Rock's all right, but he proved that he's lazy fuck.
Sure.
So I'm taking him down a peg. Until he proves to me otherwise, The Rock is nothing but Dwayne Johnson. Now get off my damn screen.
He ain't no final boss of John. What would happen if Dwayne The Rock Johnson got in the ring with Johnny Superfly Lee?
I would put an end to The Rock. Let's just be real. I'm undefeated inside the ring. If The Rock was to get inside the ring with me,
Johnny is undefeated inside the ring.
I'd hit him with an elbow drop that puts his elbow drop to shame.
I just got to know, Johnny, are you going to defend that undefeated title, that undefeated name?
I will against The Rock. that The Rock wants to throw down because he thinks that he's big and bad, but he couldn't even show up for a pay-per-view.
Is Andy going to get it? Is Sean going to get it? Who knows?
That's right. Nobody knows.
Is you and Andy's story over? Who knows?
Nobody knows at this point yet. But who knows? You never know what could cook. But The Rock should have showed up for that night. He should have showed up for Monday if he was going to show up for WrestleMania. But he didn't. Because The Rock is a piece of trash. Just like Stone Cold Steve Austin once said. It takes a piece of trash not to show up to a wedding. That's what he did at WrestleMania. He didn't show up for the wedding. So instead, he sent out the goon. The fucking Dennis Rodman of their whole team. Travis Scott, who for some reason thought he was The Undertaker. So he started walking out there. Slow as fuck. He took over. I feel like he took 2 hours just to get to that ring.
Yeah, he took a while. He underestimated that ramp.
He thought that he was The Undertaker is what it was. He's like, those are the gongs? I'm going to slow my walk.
I don't want to work with this guy.
No. Then the motherfucker didn't even distract Cody Rhodes. He ended up having to be Cena to get the win for him. Man. Travis Scott. He going to be Dennis Rodman. At least put in the work.
And got hit with a crossroads.
Yeah, he got... I mean, that was coming, but I was wanting a receipt to be had.
Yeah, I was too.
Remember, Cody Rhodes talked all that shit about if they were to ever meet again inside the ring.
I was hoping
he'd give him a receipt.
I was hoping he'd, give him a tater or crack his head with a chair or something, man.
Stone Cold Steve Austin would have tatered him.
Yeah.
It was a goddamn, son. We working on reshooting.
Stone Cold was fucking pushed Tyson in the chest in Tyson's prime.
Yeah, he did. And then they threw down. They got into a fist fight. You know who didn't get into a fist fight? HBK could have got knocked the fuck out after he tried to throw a hand at Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson walked out with Stone Cold Steve Austin. But what about that World Tag Team Championship match? New Day versus the War Raiders.
See, I'm not a big fan of New Day. Never was, and I don't know now. I don't know. It's just weird. It just seems like they're hanging on. I don't know. I don't like it.
I mean,
and then they
Big E.
They made the other. They made the War Raiders. Their entrance was all the theme of whatever sponsor it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of weird.
It was, but here's the thing. Fuck Big E. Where the fuck was he for the last 2 years that New Day was having their troubles, right? And then he waits. Okay, he waits until New Day's anniversary show to suddenly come back. Hey guys, let's all positive positivity right here now. Let's hug it out. Fuck Big E.
Yeah.
Where the fuck were you the last 2 years or 3 years just because you got your neck broke? You still had plenty of time to come to New Day's defense any other time. And you chose until they had their anniversary. And they've already had problems. To show up and be like, let's hug it out, guys. Fuck Big E. I like this heel New Day better than the old heel New Day. Because they at least are just being smug pricks. Because the other New Day, whenever heels, they were doing bootios and pancakes and all that trash. Not this New Day. They won the tag team titles and they've been assholes ever since.
Man, I want to take a moment and I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts about our guest that was supposed to be in here last night? We'll get you back on, Mr. Stan Sierra. You're still the man, brother. What do you think about the legendary greatest title run in Kentucky wrestling history? What do you think about that ending?
I think that was a very well done milestone. He carried the title for a long time. And for it to end...
On?
What?
Do we got the match on here?
I don't know. It might be. But I think that there's no better person to lose it to than Marty Clay.
Shout out Marty Clay.
The new Appalachian Mountain champion and our guy.
They just released, or they just came out with a new belt, I believe, new championship title, and that thing's gorgeous, man. One of the most beautiful championships I've ever seen.
I saw it. It's a great championship that they unveiled for him. I think there's no better person to have that for him than that. Hold up, we're looking for the match right now. Oh, look at that. Those are some great matches that went down. Trying to find the Weekend of Champions from. Oh, okay, hold up. I don't think they got on here. But they do got like this. Watch this heart punch. He killed this man, B.
Oh.
But he also got unmasked by this man.
I heard about that. What do you think about that? What's your thoughts on that?
It was wild. I thought that I would never see Zodiac, the monster, the mystic, remove his mask. But here we are, 2025, and that's exactly what he did 2 Saturdays ago. Like, that was crazy, because here he is stomping a table onto the guy after he put him through it.
With his mask on.
Yep. And then he grabbed the trash can and watch this. Beats the hell out of him with trash can. What did Mystery do to deserve that?
Yeah.
All he did was pick a fight with you. But yeah, I upload these for them too. Like, you missed a hell of a ladder match as well, B-Money. Look at that. This is what you call classic wrestling here. Appalachian Mountain Wrestling.
Let's see them clips of Stan and Rhino.
Right here.
Here's Marty Clay and
Yep, he outmuscled them.
Yeah, were they tagging?
Yep, they were. Against Rhino, Marty Clay, and Zodiac. That was months before the whole Weekend of Champions. Hell of a time, too, B-Money.
Golly. Rhino's a monster, man.
Yeah, he is. Especially in person. Like, I watched him in person, I thought to myself, that guy is a beast. But see, that's the thing. You never know who you might see pop up in WWE in the future.
Yeah.
Independent wrestling is where it's at.
These are the next, the next guys, really.
That's right.
These could be who's on TV next. You never know, honestly.
Exactly. Just like how Jey Uso defeating Gunther. What was your thoughts on that?
Knew it was going to happen. A weak finish. How you going to choke out Gunther?
He choked him out in 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Hey, dude, the finish was just weak, man.
It was.
It was just weak.
Yeah, it was.
Match wasn't terrible. Pretty good match, but ending, man, that was rough. Like, it just made no sense. To choke out Gunther?
Exactly. 5 seconds.
It would have been better if he would have rolled him up or something.
It's different if he...
I guess then you have, Gunther can get a rematch.
Yeah. But it's different when Eli Dragunov tapped out Gunther because he did a whole lot of beating the fuck out of Gunther's neck before he blocked in the choke. But all Jey Uso had to do was pin the man with a choking. 5 seconds later, Gunther's...
I guess Gunther's weakness is choking him out.
Yeah, apparently submission holds are his biggest weakness.
Oh, we got Kyle Maggard Stan
here. Yeah, he turned on Stan. That is a turning point, B-Money.
Did he turn on Stan or did Stan turn on him?
He turned on Stan. And then he got beat up by Misery. Look at that. Oh, Tiger Driver.
He killed Marty Clay.
Yep, Marty Clay's dead. He broke his neck, B-Money. I don't know how Marty Clay won the title after that. It was a stroke of luck.
Catch them turtles in the pond, man.
He is a monster himself. You gotta be a monster to catch snapping turtles.
Who we got here? Big Mama. What other match? Let's.
What about that triple threat?
Triple threat. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of CM Punk, but I mean, I will admit it was a great match. That was a great match, great ending. I mean, perfect.
I called it.
That could make it more perfect would be the Monday after Raw.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose came out, or I mean, John Moxley came out.
John Moxley be like, "Fuck y'all, I just want to bleed."
That would be the icing on the cake.
That's right. What I liked about the triple threat was that I called it. I said that
Yeah.
Paul Heyman was joining Seth Rollins, and the best way he did it, first they had him turn on CM Punk, then he turns on Roman Reigns. That is the perfect storytelling right there. That's Rip Rogers right there, by the way, with the red shirt. Legendary wrestler and trainer.
Oh, we got Bobby Blade.
Yep, doing his thing.
I seen Bobby Blade the other day. Shout out Bobby Blade.
Did you know that?
Oh, let's talk about the Sin City street fight with Damian Priest and Drew.
That was fire.
Fire.
Yes, it was. It was a knockdown, drag-out fight. It's what it needed to be.
Those are two just bad motherfuckers, dude. Just two tough-ass guys that have a respect for each other, and they are so good at what they do that they can sit there and lay into each other and not get mad, not get frustrated, or give receipts. Like they're giving it to each other in a respectful, very let's have a good match. This is fucking, and that's how WrestleMania should be. Like WrestleMania, like they should be going all out, like making it as real as possible. Like that's the biggest
that's the way it
show.
should be.
Yeah.
Don't forget also, Drew McIntyre took a selfie in the middle of that match. Still bored at work. Laugh out loud.
Oh,
It's a callback to the WrestleMania before where he said, "Still bored at bored at work." Laugh out loud.
I don't know now. I kind of like Damian Priest won the world championship a little bit more than I did back then, but yeah, I still didn't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, he was just a transitional champion.
Yeah. I mean, the best part was that CM Punk was the reason why Damian Priest won.
Yeah.
It made sense to the story, which is always good. What about AJ Styles and Logan Paul?
AJ Styles and Logan Paul. It was what I was expecting. Well, it's exactly what I was expecting. I mean, you got a guy like AJ in there with younger guy Logan Paul, but he's super athletic, and it just shows you how good AJ is too. Being able to get in there with a really young guy in the business and being able to do what he did.
Exactly.
And shout out to Logan Paul. I'm not a Logan Paul fan, nor do I like him like that. But
He held his own.
He holds his own every time he goes in there. And another thing I like is he looks better than half the wrestlers out there, man.
That's true.
He really does.
Also, can't take away from Karrion Kross.
Yes.
Him being out there was a masterstroke of genius. Because he took the brass knuckle, because he told Allen, use them, AJ. Use them. Think about the wrestlers inside the back.
AJ
Win this match. And that's what cost him. Because he did not listen. And so, Karrion Kross was right. We already talked about the Intercontinental Fatal 4-Way. What about Randy Orton's surprise guest? I believe in Joe Hendry. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And also, they released the video where...
I figured it would be Joe Hendry was the...
Me too.
Yes,
a lot of us did.
Everybody kind of knew that it was going to be Joe Hendry.
Yep. As it should be. And also, WWE released a video where Randy Orton is genuinely looking around at the crowd because they're singing his song and interacting loud as hell. And Randy Orton was the one that chose Joe Henry to be his surprise opponent.
Really?
Yeah, because it turns out that Randy Orton is a big fan of Joe Henry's work.
Nice.
He loved the character, so he decided, I want that guy to be my WrestleMania opponent. Not only does that put eyes on TNA, but it gave Joe Henry a moment with Randy Orton, one of their biggest stars. People trying to say he got buried. No. To be buried, Joe Henry would not have been able to do offense.
Yeah.
He would have been squashed in under 1 second. That's not what happened. Instead, Randy Orton got a moment where Joe Henry does his post turn and it gets RKO'd out of nowhere. And then he does his own Joe Henry turn around. And
yeah.
that was cool. I think people are too harsh to the point where they've forgotten what matters. But then again, Joe Henry was the perfect opponent for Randy Orton that night. What about that women's tag team championship? I knew that Becky was gonna take her place. You know how I know?
Oh yeah.
Because Becky always hogs Bayley's spotlight. That damn Becky. She's the female Hulk Hogan, brother.
I like Becky though more than I do Bayley, honestly.
What?
Really do.
Bayley's got the big booty though.
But Becky, I don't know. Bayley, something about her just gets on my nerves and pisses me off. I didn't like when she did the hugger thing, and then I don't know, she just some of the shit she says, and they going through the era of WWE she had to go through. They made her say so much corny stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it kind of just ruined her for me.
This man loves to make them say corny stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Roman Reigns was doing. Succotash. That was literally what he said in a promo. Which is, after you know, is a Looney Tunes cartoon character that said that.
Oh.
Succotash. That was literally best man's idea for Roman Reigns to say that. Because Roman Reigns is out of fucking pocket. But I will say, what was the point of them winning? Becky and Lyra, if they were going to lose on Raw. I guess they want to give Becky a title. And then Becky was like, oh my God, they hate me.
Shit. Maybe we need to take Becky back up to the main storyline. Who knows?
Yeah, I also think that maybe Becky was like, oh my God, they didn't like me winning. Let's give the Childs back to Lib and Raquel. Bet you could have at least held the Childs for at least a month, then gave them back. Instead, she gives them back right away next night. Made the entire thing pointless.
The match we got on right now.
That triple threat, this match is Mega Destroyer versus Zexy Z Collins, which is what his name is. And that's Mega Destroyer, a veteran of the sport. What about that women's triple threat match? Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky.
Like I said earlier, man, the women tore it down. But if I got to go with the best women's match of the whole WrestleMania, I got to go with that one, man.
Yes.
I mean, you had three just athletes and just women that just knew and could put on a great WrestleMania, dude, and they absolutely delivered.
Exactly. They were on fire. Fire, I tell you. The right woman won.
The finish was great. And let me tell you how good the finish was. Finish happens. Listen to this, guys. Ray the Bear turns his head and looks at me and goes, that was a good finish.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
When Ray the Bear looks at you and just says, that was a good finish. That means that was a good finish.
That means that was a good finish.
That's right. Because it was.
Yeah.
And the right one won. I called it who was winning. Because I saw that she'd been champion 48 days. I said, ain't no way she's losing then. Because unlike Gunther, who held it 259 days, Io Sky is still relatively young inside of her championship reign. 48 days. She mopped the floor with them. It was a hell of a match, Bmoney. hell of a match. It proved why the women steal the show every time.
Man, one thing, though, that upset me about WrestleMania was there was no Chad Gable. I feel like they built him up so much.
They did.
And I felt like he was really going to be the next, I don't know, like he was next up. He was coming up, man.
But you got to give it up to El Americano Grande because it was his time. He's a 20-year veteran, wrestled all over Mexico. He had to take Chad Gable's place because Chad Gable kind of messed up. Kept on saying that he was sick and hurt all the time.
I heard Fandito and El fuck, like, what the fuck? What is it?
El Americano Grande.
I heard they were in the same wrestling class together.
They were taught by the Blue Demon. And El Santos, an old school wrestler that kept his mask on all the way until the day that he died. Because he revealed his face just a week before he died on a talk show.
Speaking of mask, Dominic Mysterio wearing the original Mysterio mask as a tribute.
Yep, it was a combination of two masks that Rey Mysterio Sr. wore. And that was fire. But like you said, the mask tried to take over him and tried to say, for the culture, do it for the Latinos.
He did have trouble getting it off, I remember that.
Yeah, because the mask tried to take over him. It tried to say, no, Dominic, stay on the mask. Keep the mask. Do it for the culture. The luchador. He finally got out like, no, I'm not wearing a mask. This was just for a one-time thing.
Now, Johnny, and there's only one right answer to this question. Who took the best bump the whole night? Who had the best sell the whole night?
That's hard for me to choose because we spent most of the time chattering while the show was on. I have to say that the best bumps were inside the Sin City street fight.
Man, you're wrong.
What,
the lady that got hit by Stone Cold, man.
Oh, my God. No. She did not get hit. Go back and watch the video. Yeah. This bitch delays her fall.
Best sell of the night.
It was the greatest sell. He's like, damn, bitch. Were you working or were we shooting? She waits until the barricade has been hit, and then you see her dramatically fall down. I wish that we had a camera where we could see what happens after she falls, because, damn, son, that was entertaining.
Yeah, it took her out, man, apparently. But.
And then later on, the same girl ran right into Dominic's cart. Yeah.
Really?
After the WrestleMania show, yep. Ran right into his cart when they were telling him to get out of the way and honking. Yeah. She was trying her best to get money out of that. Yeah. Sometimes it's crazy.
Bro, what's wrong with people?
Exactly.
What's wrong with getting ran over?
It sounds like she wanted to get that lawsuit money.
Stone Cold, man, dude, he was I thought what was funnier than him hitting that barricade though was the video of him trying to get up the ramp and he goes down, he goes the wrong way and gets basically stuck and has to back the four-wheeler up because I was actually in the car when he came out. I had it at full volume, had my phone set up, and the glass breaks. I was like, oh shit! And dude, it was like taking forever.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, dude.
That's why you don't drink before you entrance.
Yeah.
It was clear that he was drunk off Steve Weisers or Broken Skull Ranch drinks.
Them Steve Weisers will get you messed up.
Should have had Poncho out there. That damn cat would have kept him on.
Poncho and two solid ass cats.
He would have made sure that Stone Cold Steve Austin made it up that ramp. But of course he forgot Poncho and
Johnny Lee here, he's a solid ass cat.
That's right. That's right.
Poncho.
WrestleMania overall.
What's the other cat's name?
I think he was named after Macho Man, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The Macho Man. Macho Cat. Hell of a cat. But that son of a bitch won't do no working or shooting with you. He'll just lay on his lazy ass. Poncho's the star, man. Poncho would whoop Larry the dog's ass. Farrell would get his ass whooped too, but Farrell unfortunately had to retire early.
Yeah.
It happens though. Fireworks kept on spooking them. Now, what about that John Cena and Cody Rhodes match?
John Cena, Cody Rhodes, man, I'm always, Cody Rhodes has always been my guy, but I kind of knew going into WrestleMania that he wasn't going to win this one. But, man, shout out to John Cena for the 17th record beating Ric Flair, man.
Hell yeah. He said what he's going to do, and that's what he did. He told us. He told us fans, you're done. I'm breaking you up with you. You're dumped. And they told us, you have earned nothing. You get nothing. And that's what he did. When he wrestled Cody Rhodes, he mocked his 5 moves of doom. He wasn't doing them like he was normally. He's doing it slower. He was doing it big man style instead of John Cena style.
Yeah.
I thought that was a stroke of genius. He's basically saying, fuck you guys. You ain't getting that John Cena no more. And then he worked a fucking slow ass style to fuck with us the entire time. I knew that he was playing that the whole time. But hey, it is what it is because now we got John Cena as a champion. And if people hate it, scratch your ass and get glad. Because I think that was the right move to make. Because think about it. We have not had a shakeup in a while. So him beating Cody Rhodes caused a shakeup. Because everyone was crashing out after that.
Yeah.
The roast of fucking WWE is a perfect example. Because that's the most horrible thing that they could have done. They allowed these wrestlers to be unfiltered, unsanitized, everything. And just say what the fuck they wanted. Now, Jackson, I'm looking at you.
Dude, I don't... Oh, man. Did you hear what they said on the comedy roast about Nia Jax?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, so what is it? One of the comedians, he's a regular on the
Tony
show.
Heathcliff. One of his guys.
Yeah, one of his guys that's on Kill Tony said that Nia Jax's favorite sex position was a 3-point stance.
Oh!
Dude.
Burn!
I can't dude, they better put it out. Like, why is it not out on, like, you can't watch it or anything? There's only, like, some people in the crowd who got footage of it. Like, you can't actually watch
There's
it.
also leaks of what Nia Jax was saying about Charlotte Flair.
Oh, what? Oh, was she saying it on there?
Yeah. When she went during the roast, they have a leak footage of her roasting Charlotte, but it's not a very good roast. It's more like talking shit about her.
Damn.
Yeah. I guess Nia Jax was drunk as a skunk and decided, well, if this is a roast, I'm going to just say fuck this bitch and say whatever the fuck I want about her. Then again, I wouldn't put bastard because her and Charlotte have thrown hands before. Remember that moment where they were throwing fists because Charlotte Flair and her had a miscommunication? Next thing you know, wham, wham. Nia Jax had to whoop her ass because from our perspective, it looks like Charlotte Flair stops working with her.
Yeah.
Then after that, wham, wham, thank you, ma'am. She gets back in order. I think that's where that roast stems from. She's still pissed off that little Miss Charlotte decided that she was going to work with her. And now that it was a roast, she's like, fuck it. I'm drunk. I'm going to let this bitch know just how I feel about her. Now I want some footage or leaked audio of what Charlotte had to say. We got Nia Jax's.
SuperFly, you got a comment.
Yes, Maddie Fox. Yes, Maddie, I know. But think about it. Nia Jax had to have been hating Charlotte for this long for her to roast her like that.
Yeah.
Because she did not do a roast. It more like it sounds like she's airing her grievances about Charlotte Flair.
I don't like Nia Jax at all, man.
You know who did?
Who?
Benny Mac. Because he likes them hoes. Oh, look. Zodiac Unmasked. That guy looks familiar, don't he? I swear he sold me a car before with no motor. But He's got a new finisher now. As you can see, it's right there inside his hand. He uses that to finish you off. That's an old school classic finisher too.
The Zodiac Unmasked, man. Who thought we ever would have seen that? 2025, man. The year of craziness, son.
Exactly. But then, I think Zodiac was getting to a point where he felt
Clay. Shout out Marty Clay.
Shout out to our champion, Marty Clay, Dead Man's Curve, a.k.a. the AMW champion. I think this is where he's going to get his AMW championship handed to him. Because look at that.
Turn up the volume.
I will, because now there's music out there.
But Kyle Maggard was also in that match.
He was.
Very long, I'm going to add, but you came out victorious.
I like how he conveniently.
What we want to do here, wrestling fans, is AMW has spared no expense, Marty. What I want to do right now is I want to show you this brand.
There it is.
AMW.
What a beautiful title.
Heavyweight Wrestling Championship belt, and we want to present that to our new champion.
That's right.
Fans, give it up for Marty Clay.
That right there is a beautiful title. Bmoney.
That's a gorgeous title. That title is beautiful.
Hell yeah, it is. And so is the title on our table, which was defended by Icon Lee until Marty Clay beat him. Now Marty Clay is carrying the Monster Head Championship. Our original.
Can I tell you a little secret?
Yeah.
About the night before Marty Clay won the championship?
Yep.
So the night before Marty Clay won the championship, me and him was already celebrating. I seen Marty Clay out. We had a couple drinks. I was a little too out there. But yeah, me and Marty Clay, he was already celebrating the win, man.
Hey, he knew that he was going to win.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Because Stan Sarah messed up. Because we're not one in wrestling. Don't put yourself in a position where a man can roll you up. And that's what he did. He put himself in a position where Marty Clay could just reach up and pull him into a schoolboy. 1, 2, 3. It's done. Also, they were a knock you down, drag out fight. I'll say that.
That's a nice belt too.
Yeah, it is. Oh, he's trying to go after our champion. Really? Lord? He's the Southern States champion of AMW. Look at him. He thinks that he's a Lord. That's what he is. But I think that WrestleMania did a lot good for wrestling. Because Joe Henry got to have his moment. Randy Orton got to do his thing with him. Speaking of which, we're going to go look at that moment because they got a clip of when he does the RKO on him, which was the greatest moment in Joe Henry's life. Yet, people say he's buried. Bmoney, I asked you, what constitutes as burial to you?
What counts as being buried?
Yes. The constitutes of burial.
It all depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about a match, squash match, probably the best way to describe like a just straight up bury. But like if you're talking about like a bury, like there's different types. Like maybe, for example, like William Regal kind of buried Goldberg in the match where he
Goldberg deserved it.
Yeah. And so I consider that kind of a bury, but they didn't bury Goldberg, of course. But yeah.
Yeah.
So another one, like John Cena, he was pretty bad at it. He buried the whole Nexus.
Hey.
And then there was that time
But
he and
you gotta admit,
the
though.
whole locker room. You remember that?
Yeah. I remember that. But also, you gotta admit, John Cena years later came out and said he should have let the Nexus win.
Yeah.
But no one took him aside and explained to him why.
But like a lot of people blame like people like Cena and Charlotte Flair, but they're not the ones that are making the shots. I mean, they might have a little say so, but there's certain things I feel like the WWE controls what happens out there. If they got an idea, it either happens or gets shot down.
Exactly.
Or
Exactly. and Joe Henry got offense to be buried.
It's not like politics was back in the day when it was Hogan, Nash, and Bischoff and Scott. Like, it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's
to be buried. Joe Henry should not have been able to get offense. He should not have been able to do his thing.
Yeah.
He got to have offense on Randy Orton and then get RKO'd. He's over like Rover because the fans were singing his song. And Randy also patted his chest. Yeah. Because Joe Henry's the man.
LA Knight losing the belt to
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a match.
Hell of a match.
I knew that Jacob Fatu was going to win because Jacob Fatu is the star.
Jacob Fatu is dude, that's my favorite Bloodline member right now, man.
Same. He completely destroyed Solo Sikoa.
His style and just the way he is, man, is not the Samoan werewolf.
He is a wild person too.
And you can tell it's not a gimmick. That's him, and like he's got that he's got the Fatu, and he's got that Samoan, like, I don't know, the Samoan toughness. You know what I mean? Like the guys back in the day, like the Samoans back in the day had that Samoan toughness. Like Jay and them, Jay Roman, they sort of got to be like he's got it. He's crazy like Haku is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like they're not crazy like that. But Jacob, man, he's cut from a different cloth.
Exactly.
And I'm excited. I hope we get to see Zilla Fatu eventually come.
You know that Haku wasn't meant to be there, right?
Oh, yeah?
When Jacob won, Haku, his daddy, was right there at ringside. He jumped the barricade because nobody's going to fucking touch Haku.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you.
Get your fucking nose
Haku is the type of guy that once took tasers from the police and he sucked in a breath and had a second wind. And it took over 20 or 30 police officers just to take the man down. Haku would have fucked them up.
Yeah.
But I digress. Shout out to you, Taz. Right here. It's a great moment, too. This not burying him, because he's giving him a shout out and everything before he delivers the RKO. It's just classic Randy. Also, you know what? Look at his trunks. That's a callback to when Randy Orton first debuted in WWE. He used to wear these blue trunks.
Yeah.
Yellow right here down the sides. That's basically what that is. I think that was cool of him. Now watch this RKO. Joe Henry. Don't do it, Joe Henry. Look away, Joe. And now watch. I love how he's just raising his hand. He's like, yeah, cheer this son bitch on.
I was like, he's going to get him again.
Yep, because why wouldn't he? Oh! That's just classic Randy, though. Because if he did not get him, I want to see the moment.
I mean, what did the fans want? Him to go out there and wrestle for the undisputed belt?
I know, right?
I mean, I know that's what you want, but you can't put...
Yeah, you can't rush it.
You can't put TNA's number one guy in the top spot.
Yeah,
you
basically...
Unless we're talking about like if they did a crossover back in the day with like Prime AJ Styles,
yeah,
definitely could have had him in a main event. But like, yeah, the quality of like, not saying TNA's bad now, but they definitely, they're not on the WWE tier.
I wouldn't have minded Joe Henry though taking on a WWE champion, but it's too soon.
I think eventually it could happen, but yeah, it's too soon. Damn, that shirt's awesome.
It is. I also like that it says say his name and he appears for WrestleMania. That means that they had this playing their best, because what Joe said was that they called him a week before WrestleMania. Like first Triple H texted him. He said, you got time to talk? And then him and Triple H had a conversation where Triple H asked him, how do you feel about being at WrestleMania against Randy Orton? And the rest was history. This was perfect. Cause look at that.
Yeah,
that's a stadium of people cheering his name.
And it feels like just yesterday, like we was talking about Joe Hendry, and he hadn't even made the when he appeared the first time.
Yep.
Man, to see where he's at now is crazy.
Because remember, the first time that we would see him, he appeared in NXT. Then, at the Royal Rumble. Then, NXT some more. And we never thought in our wildest dreams that Joe Henry from TNA as TNA World Champion would walk into WrestleMania with the championship around his waist. This is the difference between Triple H's WWE and Vince McMahon's WWE. Triple H allows this. And this was great. Because look, he's trying to choke some. Ray Orton's like, motherfucker, what you trying to do to me? This reminds me of the Hurricane spots where Hurricane would try to chokeslam Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H. And they both look at him like, motherfucker, what you trying to do? Before whooping his ass. That was great. See, people try to say he's buried, but watch this. After the second shit, RKO. This is the perfect moment right here. Because Randy Orton's out of his frame. See that? He rolled out of frame. Joe Henry turns and then wham. RKO.
Wham.
Got it.
Perfect.
It's perfect. Man. You know why? Because why would you have Joe Henry there and not do an RKO with him doing his turn thing? He's doing his pose, and then Randy Orton after that does his pose, which is cut from the feed. Which they should have showed because that was a damn good pose. But this was awesome. We of the Nice Game Podcast predicted this, folks. We said for months that we'd like to see Joe Henry at WrestleMania. And we got it. And also, Joe Henry did a really good job on that sale.
Everybody, I don't know, man. It was a great WrestleMania. I want to know, what was your number one favorite match?
It's definitely got to be the triple threat with Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. My second favorite would have to be the Sin City Street Fight. Simply because it delivered. It was supposed to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. But I have to say also...
Man, Fatal 4-Way. Oh, it's on there.
Yep. Look at that. That was awesome. Yeah. I love the way Dom sold that. But see, the right people were inside this match. Because not only that, but you had Ray Phoenix getting his debut at WrestleMania.
That was night one, correct?
Yep. And people will try to say that he got buried. He wasn't buried because he got to do what he got to do.
I mean, the same thing was going to happen with Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
They just didn't change the plan.
But it's awesome because also it means that he got his first ever WrestleMania. And I think that's pretty fucking cool. Look at that. Yeah. Dom was always going to attack that sumbitch. Because Finn Balor is the weakest of them. Watch this. Catch his leg. He's like, what the fuck you trying to do, Dom? Dom's like,
a great takedown right there.
Yep.
Damn.
It almost made me think they was going to try to tear out Dom's arm from the shoulder. But then he pushed out. Oh. He nailed his finish. Stops it. What about Dom flaunting that belt in front of Scott Steiner? He literally said, he literally was backstage. He's like, I want to get a shot of this, And then he's, as Scott Steiner standing there, he's like, you see this? Yeah, get a shot of it. Scott Steiner's like, you little son of a bitch. You're lucky that you're leaving right now. I'd snap the mustache off your face.
I was wondering how that table would break all night.
Me too.
Or the whole deal.
Those tables look different than what I remember. I miss my old rectangular tables.
Yeah,
These damn new
with the big monitor.
Yeah. Then they switched out the monitors for the for the TV screen ones. I hate that. Cause who's gonna hit a motherfucker with a flat screen? I want the big old monitor so I can hit a motherfucker with the big old monitor. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Finn Balor was the right person to lose to him. And now, I'm telling you, Bmoney, we're going to get Finn Balor turning on Dom and probably getting kicked out of Judgment Day soon.
Dom for sure needs to watch his back. I don't know. I hope they in the storyline.
Exactly.
I hope with the storyline they don't make him I don't know, stupid. Because, I mean, he should know that Finn's going to turn on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Finn Balor's wearing these stupid ass spits. What the fuck was Finn Balor choosing to wear at WrestleMania? He wore a fucking banana head. Yeah, it looked like a banana. And also, guess what? This was unplanned. When Dom runs back to the ring, and you see Finn Balor looking at him like, what are you doing? That's unplanned. That's just Dominic taking it in the moment. Because he was taking it in the moment, he ran back to the ring and he posed for the fans. He just threw his shirt at Penta. He's like, take that shirt, you son of a bitch. Remember that this man is now your Intercontinental Champion. Yep, that's the unplanned moment right there. Look at Finn Balor. He's like, what the hell are you doing? We're supposed to be leaving. Dom's like, fuck you, Finn. I'm a champion for once on the main roster. I'm going to take this in. The right guy won, B.
That's who I predicted, man.
Me too. Because it felt right that this time Dominic Mysterio would get his first singles title on the main roster, and it would be against Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor. And the right man did it. That's the difference between Dominic Mysterio and the MJF. Also, against all the other people that you try to say is like Dominic. Dominic's over. You can't deny that, B-Money. What about this match?
CNC Street Fight.
Now I ask you, B-Money, would you take a selfie while you're whooping on a guy's ass?
I mean, it's probably not in my, in the cards, what I'm thinking of at the moment. But if I happen to have a phone or see a phone, who knows, maybe.
I mean, but what if they attack you?
Anything can happen in a wrestling match, man.
That's true.
Who knows who can come out?
That's true. But what happens if they attack you while you're on the phone taking that selfie? Then you got a photo of you taking a selfie
fault.
with a fist coming at you.
Now it just looks stupid. See?
Yeah.
Now it just looks stupid.
That was my thoughts when he took that picture with Damian Priest.
Distracting yourself. You don't want to distract yourself in a match.
Exactly.
That's when you start to slip. When you're on the grand stage of the mall, there's no margin for error.
Exactly. I mean, right there. He decides to take a picture while Damian Priest is. Look at him.
He could have grabbed hold of him and choked him out right there.
And that's his wife that he got the phone from. If Damian Priest was having to work with y'all, he would have turned around and he would have choked out Damian Priest right there. I mean, Drew McIntyre right there. Claymore, but that's not how he won.
I love the Claymore.
I did too. Did you know that it was invented by accident?
Really?
Yeah. Drew McIntyre was not going for Claymore, but he ended up hitting a move like that. And that's how the Claymore was born. I'll show you if we can find it, because it should be on here. The Claymore was an accidental invention.
We got another comment, Johnny.
What?
We got another comment.
What's up, Greg Kerr? He said, sounds like another 50,000 turnout for PP again. That's true. That is true. But see, this was an accidental invention because he did not invent it. He's going for, I think, a drop kick. But he ended up tripping and hitting the accidental one. Let's see, do they have it? Of course they should.
There's creation.
Creation. Where's that? Because I know that it is
Oh, wait, go back.
right here.
Oh, that's it?
Yep. Because this was the accident. Actually, no. Yeah, that's the accident right there. He wasn't going for it, but it ended up happening. What were you looking for now?
Let's see. Hold on, go back. There was another clip. Back? Yeah, that one.
Claymore Bro Kick.
The Claymore or the Broad Kick?
What would you say is the most devastating to take?
Probably Claymore.
Yeah. But then the bro kick is a bicycle kick. It's a pump bicycle kick hitting you inside the face. I think that my choice would be Claymore as well. But I can't discredit Sheamus's move. Because Sheamus fucking hit you hard with it. Now, what did you think about Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker joining teams?
Well, like I said, I figured they'd give Breaker a push, and that's the perfect way to do it, is throw him in there with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, two of the best right now.
That's right. Because Paul Heyman is a guy that you want to team up with. He's a Paul Heyman guy, through and through. Braun Breaker has done it right, B. And now, who would you say you would add to the group?
Would add to the group. I'm trying to think.
Because there's a lot of good names that could go.
Honestly, I'd like to see somebody from NXT. Personally, you know who I think?
Who?
Alexis King.
Yes.
That's a little biased, but it would be cool.
Yep, because we met Alexis King in person when he's at New South. Oh, look. Someone's wearing the Fiend mask with sunglasses. But here's the thing. This guy looks like a yellow fucking banana. I think he's trying to outdo Finn Balor's yellow gimmick the night before. Because he had a yellow, I don't know what it was, but it looked like a fucking banana. He had a yellow gloves on his hands. And
yeah, I think it was like a caution or some shit like
yeah,
that.
the caution is Naomi's, though.
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of Owen Hart. Because he wore caution.
Yeah.
He also had danger inside the middle. And those were not Jay Cargill's nipples. I'm here to tell everyone they were pasties that you were seeing. Like everyone was tore up. They thought that they were seeing some nipples, Bmoney. Actual nipples. I think that you and me, being the connoisseurs that we are, we can tell the difference between pasties and a nipple. Even Sean John's first rolled pasty instead of a nipple.
Boy nipples. That's what Sean likes.
He's like, you're welcome. Nipple slip. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I don't see a nipple. This looks like a damn pasty. Which it was. But there is one thing that people have forgotten. When Naomi was down on her back, the camera for a split second was on her. And she did this. She lifted her top like this. And they never pointed it out. And my own thoughts are, that's a damn shame. Because everyone's talking about the pasties, but no one was trying to look at the nipples. Damn. I guess a bunch of virgins, they love pasties compared to nipples. It happens. I can't fault them, Bmoney. They're still virgins. They've never seen a woman in their day in their life. So when they see that first glimpse of a pasty, they think to themselves, oh, lordy, there's an areola. It wasn't. Sad to say for all you virgins out there. That's a hell of a sign out there, though. 1969, day since OSU beat Michigan. Damn! That means 1,969 days.
My way, they're saying my way over Fiend. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I love what WWE's doing right now. WrestleMania went exactly how it was supposed to.
Exactly how it was supposed to.
It had great storytelling. It had great matches, the right matches, because some people didn't like them. They were trying to say, oh, this Bill's been terrible. No, it wasn't.
And
favorite.
A lot of people want to compare last year's WrestleMania to this year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, they are. But
last year's was so perfect too. But like you got to think about the star power that last year's had, man, and it was such a big match. Like that match was built up for 2 years. Like that's definitely going to get a lot more traction and emotion than a match that's
Yeah.
not been built that long. Like that match was built for 2 years. More than that, man. Cody, with the whole journey he went through.
Exactly. People are trying to compare it, but they can't. 40 gave you a different kind of feeling. 41 gave you what it needed to give you. John Cena as champion is the way to go. Because Cody Rhodes has held the title long enough.
I think eventually John will end up giving the title back on the last pay-per-view. His last match, he'll end up putting somebody over. And if that somebody's Cody Rhodes, which I'd like it to be, because I'd like to see him with the belt again. But if not, who would you like to see as champ? Who would you like to see versus John Cena in his last match?
CM Punk. Because they got history. Think about it.
They do got history.
They had one of the best matches at Money in the Bank and also on a Raw. Because John Cena did more than just 5 moves soon.
You know what they should do?
What?
I seen this on TikTok. So what John Cena should do is disqualify. So he's versing Randy, right?
Yeah.
Disqualifies himself, like hits the ref or hits Randy with a chair right in front, and then we get another match of Randy and John at SummerSlam, which I could see that happening.
Me too.
Because you know how he's all about not giving us anything, and you know he's going to ruin wrestling, so that would be a perfect way to do it.
Exactly. And also, he kind of has ruined wrestling. He did what he said to be because he made everyone cry like little babies about how things went down for that main event. Because they're still talking about it today. Still going on about No Rock. But they're missing one thing. He said he will ruin wrestling for us. That's what he's done, people. He has achieved his goal. He has ruined wrestling for you. So if you keep on talking about The Rock and keep on bringing up that main event, he's done exactly what he said he was going to do. He ruined wrestling, Bmoney. But we killed it first. Remember that. Because they've been saying that our match, me and Andy, killed wrestling. So John Cena, you're going to have to fight me for that right. Because how can you say that you ruined wrestling if there's already a match out there that has ruined it? But
how many more members do you think Paul will have? I think at least one more.
Or they could do like the Dangerous Alliance.
I've heard of Evolution 2.0.
Oh, that's a good one.
You got your Randy Orton, Braun Breaker. You got your Batista. All you need. I mean, you got your Paul Heyman. He's the Ric Flair, and you got one more guy, which is
we need one more guy.
Which actually, he's more of the Triple H. Seth is more of the Triple H.
He is. I think what they need to do, if they're not going to do Evolution 2.0, it's going to be a Dangerous Alliance.
That's another thing we can talk about is the Hall of Fame, man. Yeah, dude, it was a great Hall of Fame, and I really thinking about Evolution, the speech and what he said about Batista and Randy Orton was really good.
But
Triple H went fucking long.
Yep, an hour and 7 minutes. But who the fuck died and told Michelle McCool she could go 50 minutes? She's the reason why Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart only had 2 minutes. That's 50 terrible. Fucking minutes of her just babbling.
And bro, why is she in the Hall of Fame?
Exactly.
Sorry. Why?
Exactly.
We know the reason she's in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. Because she's married to the Undertaker. Sorry, Taker. I'm your fan. But even though this was a hell of a moment too, Monday night.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was fucking cool. It harkens back to the Attitude Era days. When the commentator would defend his co-host.
And then everybody's getting all butthurt about what, shout out, Johnny Lee's mom. She says, "Hi, son," and Bmoney.
Hi, Mom.
Forgot where I was going before that. What was we talking about?
We were talking about, you said, butt hurt.
Oh, everybody's getting butthurt about what Paul Heyman was saying on, like, the after show and the Pat McAfee show, apparently. And, like, he's bringing back the Attitude Era.
You're damn straight.
They're not liking it.
Fuck those people.
Let's beg for the Attitude Era, but, when he calls somebody fat or stupid or says he's going to bang their mom, they get mad and upset. Like, come on.
He's going to bang their mom and take her out to Friday Night Tuesdays. Don't talk about Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman is bringing back the realism. And that guy's purple. He really choked his ass out. Pat McAfee is the... Oh, he's moving. He's still alive, Bmoney. Would you have killed him?
Yeah.
You would have cinched it in so tight. That's why Gunther's weak
Hell, I think I could
dismissal.
choke Gunther out.
Yeah, you could.
I think I could take him out.
You have to avoid his chops, though. Because he does like to chop a lot.
And the one thing I was confused about when I was watching this, or who are all these?
They are
fucking
Pat McAfee's co-host people from his show, the Pat McAfee show. They came in because they're trying to get the...
What the fuck were they going to do? They did nothing.
They would have gotten killed.
Yeah.
The security had to stop them.
Let's jump the fucking barricade after he got beat up. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
No. They jumped the barricade while he was getting beat up. They were trying to get to him. But the security's like, no, you stay your asses there.
They couldn't beat security up, man.
They couldn't. I saw one security witness actually throw a punch at him. Because you want something to look real? Have Pat McAfee's co-host try to do it. I think that there's a real fight about to bust out there.
Oh, what about, we got another comment.
What's up, JC on set? He said Montreal.
Montreal, you talking about the Montreal screw job? Oh.
He said Montreal James.
Oh.
But the Montreal screw job, I do think was a work. You know why? Because everything about that felt like a work.
And when do you know how many videos were filmed behind the scenes of WWE?
Exactly.
Not that were put out. Not a lot, but something that big was filmed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then also there's a lot of speculation about the punch with Vince.
Yeah.
A lot, because Brett claims he uppercutted him, but somehow Vince had a black eye. And the only way you uppercut somebody and they get a black eye is if they're looking down.
Yeah.
And I don't think fucking Vince was looking down.
I think
Like,
that.
just, you know what I mean?
And
Unless Bret
Brett-
Hart fucking pulled his shirt and I don't know.
And also, apparently, this man has balls, Bmoney, because he said, I'm going to take my shower. If you're still out here, I'm going to lay you out. And Vince was like, I was just out here and wait for you. Apparently, Vince man had the brass balls.
Vince was going to fight Kurt Angle. Did you ever hear about that?
He was also going to fight Frank Shamrock.
Oh, yeah.
He once said, you take the big guy, I'll take the little guy, and the little guy being Frank Shamrock. Vince was that crazy. I know that he's done a shitty thing, but before that, he did give wrestling some good moments. Without him, Austin would not have had the rise of 316. Think about it. That was his biggest heel.
You know, it's actually crazy. There'd be no Austin 316 if it wasn't for the Click.
That's true. Think about that. There would be no Austin 316 without the Click. And then...
Who's going to break it down for him?
You can, brother, if you want.
Okay, so pretty much the Click had their curtain call, and I think King of the Ring was the next pay-per-view coming up, and Triple H was set to win the King of the Ring. But with the curtain call, they knew Vince wasn't going to punish Shawn. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall were already leaving. So there's only one person to punish now, it's Triple H.
Exactly. And that's how Austin became King of the Ring.
And then, yeah.
And they cut that famous promo.
That's so crazy how stuff like that happens.
It does. It takes only a moment of bad timing for you to be derailed, and for someone else
Because
to
without
shoot
Austin
up.
316, do we still get Stone Cold? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, do we get Stone Cold? Who knows?
I mean, around
Because
that time, his wife came up with his Stone Cold name.
Yeah.
Because she mentioned his coffee or tea. She talked about drink it before it gets cold stone.
Yeah.
And then he thought Stone Cold Steve Austin. Maybe he would have existed before the click, but I don't think so. I think when Austin became Austin 316 was the best moment of his career. It's all thanks to the click in their curtain call. And people need to understand that. Without the click, there is no Austin 316. There is no moments that we got during 1998. When he beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14, that's propelled him to superstardom. And even before that, his moment with Mike Tyson, that was a hell of a brawl that they had to set up that match.
Yeah.
I'm here to say, if they didn't do any of that, Austin might not have hit superstardom. He may have been a top dog, he may have been a top babyface, but without the Mike Tyson shit, I don't think they would have made it.
Yeah.
Thanks to that, it made it feel real, it made it feel raw, and he was starting to work a different style from what he did with Owen Hart. Just think about it. You know, the pile driver fucked up his neck.
Mm-hmm.
It did wonders for him
Yeah.
because it helped him work a different style. And that style ended up gravitating fans to him, even more than what they were in 97. Because now he's working a style that said, I'm a blue-collar motherfucker and I'll whoop your ass.
So they always talk about who's the greatest, and when I think of the two greatest, in my opinion, are Ric Flair and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And here's why: they were the absolute complete package. I mean, so was Shawn Michaels, but what a lot of people seem to try to forget about was that he missed 5 years.
He did.
He wasn't part of the Road Dogg, and he wasn't part of that DX. Like, he was out for 5 years. Like, he was gone, and not to say that but that I feel like Flair and Stone Cold had better careers.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels basically suffered that back injury. You know how he suffered it?
Oh, yeah, the
Royal Rumble
the
casket match.
Casket match.
You watch that match,
He hits his back right on it.
but it doesn't look like he hit it that hard. It's like he hits it, but it's not that hard. But it did lots of damage just for being small moment. And so he retired for 4 years, then came back 2002. That's when we got our greatest moments with HBK. That's when he really became Mr. WrestleMania. Won his world title in the Elimination Chamber match, which was inspired by the War Games match. Because if you look at it, it's got the same cosmetics as the War Games. It's just a big old dome. Pods that replace the shark cages. Lights that will choose you. A timer that will choose the next opponent. That's what it is. And he was the first man to win the World Heavyweight title inside that match. Also, Triple H suffered a broken larynx thanks to RVD.
Yeah.
RVD probably thought that he could make the frog splash, but he didn't.
Well, it was kind of the design of the cage that fucked him
Yep.
up too. Like, it wasn't all on him. Like, he couldn't do what he needed to safely, really.
What about Booker T being prophetic? He said, somebody's going to get hurt tonight. And he was right.
He was right. I mean, yeah. It was a dangerous match back then. I mean, now they fucking watered it down so much.
Yeah, it sucks.
Putting padding everywhere and shit.
I hate the padding. I want the old cage back, damn it.
I mean, I get it, but like, it takes it away, man.
It does. I want my wrestlers to bleed and fuck each other up, even if it's on accident, because that happens.
Next pay-per-views, Money in the Bank. I think. I hope. Hopefully, we actually get a Money in the Bank that's worth the fuck this year.
That's right.
It could be Cody.
It could be. Now that he's not a champion. And look at this. JD McDonough returned after that kidney injury.
How cool would it be if it was Dom, though? Get the Money in
That
the
would be
Bank.
cool. Then he'd be the Money in the Bank and the Intercontinental Champion. And look at that. He's dragging Penta's leg. Dom, don't do it, my brother.
If Jay can choke out Gunther, then I think Dom can beat Jay.
Yeah. Dom is so much better than Jay.
Braun Breaker's a tougher opponent than Jay, I feel.
Yep. But here's the thing. Jay's over like rubber with the fans. So I understand why they put
One
Dom.
thing that pisses me off, man, I think I texted you about this, is all the fans online talk shit about Jay and the match with Gunther and stuff, which, you know, I wasn't a fan of the ending too, but
Yeah.
I still like Jay and Gunther.
Yeah.
But then when you see him, when he comes out, everybody's yeeting.
Exactly.
What the fuck? Thought everybody hated him.
Exactly. And also, the internet are a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
It's the people inside the audience that dictate who's going over. Jey Uso's been on fire since he started this yeet thing. So that's how I knew he's going to get that title. You know, I wanted Gunther to win. I knew that, man, once they did that personal thing with Jimmy, it was done.
Yeah, he's
I just wish that it didn't have him tap out in 5 seconds. At least should have had it be locked in longer.
or don't tap him out at all.
Exactly.
Because he's gone,
Look at that.
man.
Exactly. Because Gunther is a badass.
JD McDonough.
No, that's JD McDonough. He returned after so many months of having that kidney injury. Because remember, he hit the announce
That's when
table.
he, had got the whiplash or whatever from the table.
Yep, and his kidney was broken. But he returned Monday night, and he helped Dominic Mysterio retain.
You think he'll turn?
And look
you
at
think
Dom's expression though. Dom doesn't know what the hell's going on. I mean, Finn. What were you saying?
You think he'll?
He could turn because
You think
he
he'll
is
turn with
Finn's.
Finn? You'll think he'll turn with Finn or Dom?
I don't know. We'll have to find out who he loves more.
Because I don't know. I feel like they're throwing us for a. They're trying to act like it's gonna be Dom, but he's gonna turn with Finn. I feel like.
I do too, because that makes sense. Jamie Donna is not a regular guy. He would turn his back on you fast. What about when Sami Zayn was behind Jey Uso Monday night? Didn't it make you think that he was going to turn on him?
Oh yeah.
I thought we were about to see a knockdown drag out on Jey Uso. Instead, we got friendship. I don't want friendship. I want to see Sami Zayn turn heel. Because I think it's time. Don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought when Zayn came out, he was going to challenge him for the belt, but he didn't.
He didn't because he's still being a cookie cutter. I want to see heel Jey Uso. I want to see Sami Zayn turn on him and go for the title. I want El Generico.
Well, we know how all of Sami Zayn's runs go, though. He starts to get a little bit of momentum, and then they throw him in a match with Kevin Owens.
That's right.
Every time.
Look at R-Truth.
Even though they have good matches, it's just like that feels like the end goal for every Sami Zayn storyline.
That's right.
Just fight Kevin Owens.
Look at how great R-Truth looks inside that mask. R-Truth is such a stud. They can't try to tell me that ain't R-Truth.
That's
Look at
definitely
him.
our truth.
He's hiding his dreadlocks, but we know that it's him.
Why would they boo our truth?
Because these fans are stupid. He is such a great man. Greatest luchador of all time, R-Truth. Yeah. The fans don't lie. They say, I love Grande.
He's holding up a baby, man.
Exactly. And he's also got a statue of himself in Mexico. What's the hate? I mean, look at him. He's living it up down in Mexico.
Look at that. Painting pictures of him, parades for him.
Exactly. R-Truth is a stud. The reason why he's wearing this Americano mask is because he went in a new way of winning. And yet they're going to try and boo him. He's right. They're all little Jimmies. All little Jimmies. Assholes. I like this one too. I'm still upset. They cut this promo and then he tapped out 5 seconds. 5 seconds, Bmoney.
5 seconds, Sean. I can't believe that, man.
The strongest world champion that we had. And he...
I think the only problem I had with Gunther's reign as champion was the past couple months. I felt like it definitely got overshadowed by just everything else, man.
Yeah, because they were having him carry to Damian Priest.
Yeah. And, like, yeah, I just feel like he got overshadowed by the Triple Threat and then The Rock and Cena, Cody. And, yeah, eventually they just put him down to the opener. It was supposed to main event.
Exactly.
Which I thought was fucked up because now that changes the whole rule for who wins the Rumble. Because that means I don't get a main event, I get a title shot.
Yeah.
That's what that means now. And they can't fucking, yeah.
Exactly. Because WWE sometimes ain't consistent. But why would you make your world champion tap out in 5 seconds?
Yeah.
I could have understood if he had the move locked in longer. Or if Jey Uso had done what I expected him to do.
I'm going to run and take a leak real quick.
Sounds good. But R-Truth is definitely Americano. Y'all need to look at his back tattoo because that is true symbol. But I don't think that Gunther should have tapped out in 5 seconds. It makes him look weak. It makes him look pathetic. It should have been a better ending to that match. Because why would you make your world champion tap out in 5 seconds? Didn't even have the move locked in that long. And he's acting like he was locked in it for an hour. It makes no damn sense. And it's pretty damn stupid. Especially after he cut that fire promo on Raw. And then he goes on to WrestleMania and he taps in 5 seconds like it's nothing. I expected a whole lot better for Gunther's match. But it is what it is. Jey Uso's your World Heavyweight Champion. We can't change that. And that's alright. That's all I'm going to say. Make sure that Gunther is pushed to the moon. Because now where does he go from here? He needs to go after John Cena. After Orton. Gunther is a star. And Jey Uso should remember this. Gunther held that title for a long time. Now it's your turn to make that title mean something. But that's the thing. It all depends on if Jey Uso's got what it takes. Because he made my boy tap out in 5 seconds. But can he do something better than that? We'll have to find out by watching his reign. Because I'm telling you guys, tapping in 5 seconds does harm to Gunther's entire gimmick. His character will not allow it, and yet it happened. All because they want Jey Uso to win. Well, if you're going to have him win, don't make a man tap out in 5 seconds. That's all I'm saying. Let the man have his glory. Because Gunther should not be tapped in 5 seconds. And that's my point. But that's what they want, Bmoney. A 5-second tap out.
5-second tap out. Oh.
To a weak choke.
Man, Johnny Lee, to get off WrestleMania for a little bit, I want to know what's been going on with you. What's some plans for the summer of 2025? What's it look like for Johnny Lee?
Well, for summer 2025, I'll think about doing a lot of things like going to strip clubs, hookers and blow, midget strippers, you know, the usual. Because damn, it's been a while since I've had a midget stripper in the studio.
How long's it been, man?
Since December.
Damn.
It's been a while. I gotta get my blow back. Gotta get my beer back. And I'm gonna have me a hell of a wild summer. Because, man, I tell you what. Once you've had a midget stripper and cocaine, you never go back.
Never go back.
Now, what are your plans?
What are my plans for 2025? Well, Johnny, I'll let you in on a little secret here.
Yeah.
Just filled out the application to get my wrestling license for 2025. So that'll be coming in the mail soon. And you know what that means.
Oh, man. That means wrestling training. It also means that when you're done, someone's getting their arm torn out of socket.
Tell them what's going to happen. I want you to look that camera right there and tell them what's going to happen when Bmoney 4 times steps in the ring.
When Bmoney 4 times steps inside the ring, I'm here to tell you, you don't want to let him get a hold of your arm, because if you do, he's going to put you inside arm bar and he's going to break your arm out of socket. And if he gets your leg, he's going to twist your ankle out of socket. If he gets a hold of your head, he's going to twist your head out of socket. Every part of your body is a weapon for him to use, because he's a 4-time state champion. And you don't want none of Bmoney. So I suggest y'all be on the lookout in this coming weeks, months, years.
Johnny Lee, you know, you're one of the best knowledges for Kentucky wrestling I know. And I just want to know, who would you like to see me face in the future?
I like to see you face guys like Mickey Midas, otherwise known as Mickey Mouse, or Marty Clay, Marcus Johnson, Cash Atkins, Ace Carmichael. The list of names is tremendous. I'd like to see you take on Omega, because he's also a knockdown, drag-out kind of guy. I'd also like to see you fight Jacob Ratliff. I'm just saying, in the future, y'all could be seeing the legacy of the Steele family right there, taking on guys like Jacob Ratliff, Mickey Midas, Marty Clay, Cash Atkins, Ace Carmichael, Marcus Johnson. Hell, could we see Stan Sierra versus you?
I'd love to eventually get in the ring with Stan Sierra. Hopefully, that match happens before Stan retires.
That's right.
Which I know Stan's the man. He ain't going anytime soon, but who knows?
Exactly. Also, let's not knock him down. He held the title for 1,200 plus days. That's not an easy feat, especially here in Kentucky, where we got a host of great talent. He held that title for a long time. You were saying?
Yeah. Now to be fair, I don't know how it is to lose a championship. So, no shots at Stan, but I don't know how that feels. So I'm trying to understand and like feel for him, but I just don't.
Exactly.
Even though Stan's still a man.
Exactly. Stan is the man, but he still lost his title to a roll-up of all things.
What's that going to do to him? Do you think? I hope it's not. Do you think it's the downfall of Stan Sierra?
I think it could be because when you lose the title,
That does something to you, man.
yeah, and that messes with your psyche. I think that now that he's lost the title, he's going to be looking at himself and he's going to downward spiral. I hate to say it. Stan Sierra's going to downward spiral and go on a losing streak because he won't be able to let go of the fact that Marty Clay beat him with a roll-up. A roll-up.
But let's hope that Stan gets back in there and can hopefully reclaim his championship, or at least be on the same level he was while he was the champion. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But at the same time, think about it. He lost the title to a roll-up. That's got to do things to your head. So, if I'm his next opponent, to mess with him, I'd probably try to go for a roll-up early. Because you do that, you throw him off his game.
Throw him off his game, he's going to be looking for it the whole match.
Yes, he will.
But you're going to be hitting him with other stuff, but he's still going to be worrying about it because you threatened it in the beginning.
Exactly, because Stan Sierra...
That's psychology right there, Joe.
Exactly, especially ring psychology. Because you put him inside the roll-up at the beginning of the match, he's going to spend the rest of the match looking for it. And that's going to be his downfall, because he won't be seeing what you dish out next. But also, we can't knock him for holding the title for 1,000 days.
Yeah. Stan, you are truly the man, the GOAT of Kentucky wrestling. Can't say you're the greatest babyface.
Nope, because he's the greatest heel.
He's the greatest heel.
He's the unapologetic heel. He will tell you that he'll deport your ass and he's happy about it.
I hope one day I can be under the learning tree of Stan Sierra.
That'd be a great tree to learn under. Plus, also, you got your dad. Just don't ask him to wrestle you. You might end up accidentally pulling his arm out of socket. And then he'll never let you down
hurt
for
his
it.
Rib.
Yeah, his rib as well.
He's got a hurt rib right now.
Or he's going to talk about you pulled his leg out of socket somehow.
So back in the day when we was at wrestling practice one day,
Yeah.
and he wanted to wrestle one of the guys. He only played football. He never did amateur wrestling like we did. Well, I think he did it for a little bit, but he didn't know any of the moves still. Like, he barely did it in high school. He was wrestling one of the guys and went out for a sprawl and popped his rib out of place. This was probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think it was my sophomore year. And so now I think where he already heard it, kind of injured it again, actually, at work.
So if you accidentally get to a training session with him, his rib's going to be your target.
Ribs are the target.
I mean, all you got to do is take your finger, jab it, and he going to be in pain for weeks.
Man, another thing going back to me getting my license, the reason I even am full-time is because of pro wrestling. I wanted to be a pro wrestler before I wanted to be an amateur wrestler. I only did amateur wrestling so I could be a professional wrestler. That's the only way they got me to do it. I wanted to be a wrestler, and that's where it comes from, man. Like, amateur wrestling comes from my pro wrestling.
That's right. And also you had to do that in order for Barry to finally go, all right.
Finally give me the nod on it, yeah.
That's right, because it helped you learn.
Yeah.
And that knowledge is going to be passed to you when you're at the ring.
He told me, if you stick with wrestling and go through all the years, then, I'll train you after school. And it's taken a little while, but, he's a hard man to convince.
That's right. Barry's the hardest man to convince. Although Donnie Green will say he broke his leg to stop him from keeping that title.
He goes to extreme measures.
Yep. Donnie Green still remembers that.
Even if you are his friend.
Yep. If you are his friend, he's still going to break your leg. Because you're not stopping his title reign. He wants that record.
I would like to, talking about Donnie and my dad, man, we need to get some older guys back in here. I'd like to see Rated X back in the studio. Another person I'd like to see back in the studio, Mr. Scott Diamond. Shout out, Scott Diamond.
We're going to set that up for later in the year. We're going to do another NWA night for 2 months. And I'll tell you when it started. It'll be late July and August.
Nice. Like it was last year.
Yep. That way, we got the older guys to come in and talk about NWA some more, because they ain't even scratched the surface.
Yeah, they didn't even, I mean, last time they was on here, every one of them was like, we need another podcast.
Special.
And, next.
I'd like to hear some more of Chris Hayes' stories.
Yeah.
Because I know that he didn't even scratch the surface when he was talking. And we got to add A.J. Alexander's picture of him getting chopped. Oh, wait. You ain't even seen that yet. Live on the studio right now. I'm about to show him.
On the studio.
I'm about to show him what happened to our boy, A.J. Alexander, when he gets chopped. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That is a wild moment.
Felt that one.
Yep. And we're going to be putting this up on the wall. So next time we get Adrian in, he can look at it. Because we still got to do another Talking in Circles with Adrian Alexander. He ain't even done part 3 yet. But hey, there's always a first time.
Always.
Plus, now that you're going to be wrestling, I think they all should be on lookout.
I do too.
Because one never knows if you might just make an armbar become your finisher. And the armbar just happens to break a man's arm socket because he won't tap out.
Yeah.
Just saying. You either going to tap out or your arm's going to be broken.
I'd like to work a lot of submissions and a lot of my amateur wrestling, what I'm good at, into my moveset.
Yeah.
Do get the ball rolling.
Like the Olympic pickup and slam onto the ground.
Yeah. Submissions, I mean, are key to victory. I mean,
Yep.
not a lot of people use submissions anymore. I mean, there's your select few, but they're unexpected. Can happen at any moment. You can manipulate any part of the body. Submission, the possibilities are endless.
Exactly. Plus, I don't see anyone work the body like they should.
It's one of the most painful things. Like, if you ever grew up with a brother, the walls of Jericho, and you won't tap, he'll make you fucking tap.
Yep. Because wrestling moves can hurt.
They do.
I used to suplex my brother all the time. And a suplex is easy to do if you know how to protect the other person's head.
One time, so we had a bed, and it was like there was a bed under it that just slid out.
Yeah.
But it was just the mattress, like it wasn't like an actual pull out with wheels and shit. And then the back had a metal frame, and there was bars all the way across the frame.
Yeah.
And dude, my brother, he grabs me by the neck, and he throws me. When he throws me, snapped all the bars right through the bed frame.
Oh, man. Hey, that just means that he's playing for keeps.
Yeah. No, we used to have bangers, man.
Knockdown dragouts.
Knockdown dragouts.
Of course, he was on the podcast at one time inside chat.
Yeah.
Talking shit, and then he
shit.
came back and was being your fanboy.
Man, I think that ship has sailed.
Yep.
I think
He got scared. He got scared. That's what happened.
I think me and him in the ring, that ship has sailed, sadly.
Yep, because he ain't getting no training. And if he did now, you'd be working circles around him. Sorry to him, you just ain't the one. Now, if he'd been training before you, it would have been an even match. But because he got scared of you, he said, I don't want that smoke. I'm done. He left wrestling because he was not wanting to fight you. He knew you'd tear his arm out of socket. And he had to live with that for the rest of his life. That his brother broke his shoulder out of socket. Man. We robbed of that match, ladies and gentlemen.
We robbed of it.
He talked all that shit.
I got my license now.
That's right. And now you can start your training and all that too. Just wait till you actually do get training. Who knows? You might take to it quicker than a lot of other trainees, because they say someone that has been in collegiate wrestling takes to professional wrestling like it's nothing. Look at Kurt Angle. The man had not wrestled, and when he showed up, it was like he'd been there the whole time. That's just proof that Olympic wrestling can transition to pro wrestling. And I'm just telling you guys, be on the lookout for this guy. You might never know.
And if you're a wrestler in Kentucky, Tennessee, anywhere in the world, you can come down and come get it any time. Come get you a piece of this ass, baby.
That's right.
I'll give you all you want. I'll give you your money's worth, baby.
That's right. He'll whip that ass and send you packing. And that
Send
goes
you
for
to the
every
stands
wrestler.
to go get you a fruit cup.
Oh, that goes for everybody on the independent scene. When this man gets out of the ring, watch out, because you might never know. You might be standing across from Bmoney, and you just might be sent home with your arm broken. That's all he's got to say to y'all. So be on the lookout for Bmoney in a wrestling ring. When, where, is wherever he decides. Now, remember, when you do get to that ring, I think a lot of them's going to be scared. Because wrestling is 9% intimidation. So, when you get to that ring, you want to make them thrown off their game. Intimidated at the fact that you could have ripped their arm out of socket. I say go for an arm lock right off the bat just to mess with them. Just like how we talk about stands here with the roll-up. Do that. Your opponent's going to always be thinking that you're going to hit him with a lockup. But that's how wrestling is, though. WrestleMania was proof of this. Ray Orton chose the right person to be his guy. He loved it. He was literally looking around at the crowd as they were singing Joe Henry's theme song and taken back by such an amazing reaction. That's wrestling for you.
I got a question for you, Johnny.
Yeah.
You're always wearing the Mick Foley shirts, and you always got all the Mick Foley shirts you wear are always badass. You got the Chainsaw Massacre one, you got that. I want to know, what is Johnny Superfly Lee's, what is his favorite version of Mick Foley, and what is his favorite match?
I love Cactus Jack. My favorite match of Cactus Jack is the Royal Rumble match against Triple H.
That's mine too.
The reason why that is the best match is because before that, Triple H really sells the fear of Cactus Jack as Mankind's come down there
Have
first.
you ever seen the video after and Triple H's bone is sticking out his leg? Oh, God.
Yeah. They went to town. As a war.
Now, you do know the barbed wire that they used on Triple H was fake.
Yeah.
He came out and said that. He
Yeah.
said that there was, they had one under the announcer's table or whatever that was like gigged barbed wire, like it wouldn't,
Yeah, the bars were cut.
And like they cut away and grabbed that chair and show the other one when he hits Triple H.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Yeah, which is fine because, I totally understand not wanting to get fucking ripped
He still bleeded
And,
though,
I
and he
mean,
still had
yeah,
thumbtacks in
it
them.
still looks real as hell. Yeah,
It does.
Yeah, not throwing shade.
The gigged version of the barbed wire is where they cut the barbs.
Yeah.
So now all the barbs won't cut you up. But they did use the real barbed wire on Cactus Jack. As you would. Because Cactus Jack is a fucking crazy son of a bitch.
Maniac.
He is. But that match solidified Mick Foley. I'll tell you what silver bottom it was when Triple H was taking. He was getting Mankind, and Mankind's cutting the promo. He's taking off the shirt and he's removing the tie, and he's talking about, you know him real well, and he removes the mask, and Triple H, as the camera turns back, you see Triple H's face fall because now he's realized he ain't wrestling Mankind. He's wrestling the craziest persona, Cactus Jack. That made everything.
Yeah.
You can't deny just how good that was. The other match that I liked was the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
People was trying to downplay that match, but that match really made Mick Foley. Just think about it. He got thrown off the cell.
Unheard of stuff. I mean, this guy is psycho. Had his tooth in his nose.
Oh, he did.
Had his tooth in his nose, man.
Yeah,
For the longest, I thought it was snot, but no, it was his tooth.
it was always his tooth. And he took his tongue and he put it through the hole inside the slip. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And also, they recently did
Undertaker had wrestled with a broke ankle the whole match.
Oh, he did because he tweaked his ankle before that.
Yeah.
But that was one of the greatest matches that they could have had. Logan Paul, speaking of Logan Paul, there he is. But this was a great match.
You know, a show I was mad they canceled was Holy Foley.
Yeah.
I liked that show.
They should not have.
They had a bunch of shows on the WWE Network that was good that they canceled. I like the Slam City, man.
I also like the Camp WWE.
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
I love the little kid version of all of the characters, cussing and all that.
Stone Cold was my favorite.
And I also like that Vince
then
McMahon
Ric
was voicing his
Flair.
own self.
Ric Flair, what was he? He was fucking a rock, wasn't he?
Yeah. He also was fucking a bear.
Oh, yeah.
And it was actually his voice. I also like that Vince McMahon voiced his character.
Yeah.
But then
One of the things I didn't like, though, Triple H looks a little weird in the show.
yeah. And they were
He's
making
always
him,
wearing just brown pants.
they were making him the butter joke, basically. He's always being the emasculated guy. And the funny thing is that he don't do that fucking thing. The after that thing he says. I don't know who got that started. I think I know who got that started. It's probably Edge or Chris Jericho. Because I've never heard him say, "Welcome to the WWE. My name is the Triple H." It makes no sense that started because I ain't heard him say that. And then, Captain WWE, don't get me wrong, is funny as hell. I want my fucking season 3.
I don't think we're getting it. They cut it off in like 2014, man. Or like, no, it's like 2016.
Damn you, WWE. Bastards. When you like something, they take it away from you just when you love it. Right there.
We're watching footage of the match right now.
Yep, with the thumbtacks.
There's him in the tag.
The barbed wire on the chair may have been fake,
Terry Folk.
but it was perfect. Guys, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. It's been a hell of a show to talk about WrestleMania and independent wrestling.
WrestleMania, independent wrestling.
And Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack, of course.
Definitely one of the shows that we do when we ain't got a guest. We tend to bring y'all discussions and get to know your thoughts. So guys, what I want y'all to do, leave your answers to our questions from the show in the comment section after we end this video. We will go back and we will read them. We'll make sure that next episode we'll mention who had the best answers. And if you're not having fun,
You ain't getting none.
you damn skippy. Hell of a show.
Nice Guy Andy podcast.
What is up, guys? This is OVW's Big Whiskey, Jared Kripke. And if you are top shelf talent, then you'd be watching the Nice Guy Andy podcast. That's right. Top shelf talent approved.
Hell yeah. Thanks, buddy.
I'm gonna be his daddy.
That ain't what your mama said.
Anyways, you guys go on your little rinky-dink bullshit podcast.
Ooh, yeah!
Watch the Nice Guy Andy podcast.
Those were expensive shoes, you know.
Yeah,
you
they
guys
were.
got down to custom made.